You're listening to High Frequency Healing on the Superpower Up podcast, the show that explores the awakening of superpowers through higher dimensional healing.
Hello, this is AngelaMaría, one of the Superpower Up hosts, and you're listening to High Frequency Healing Show. Awaken superpowers through higher dimension healing. The only difference between where you are to where you want to be is the actions you take here and now to heal your life. Let's take a deep breath and be here and now. I invite you to enjoy this time together. So here we go. Let's welcome Renae Mussachio to my show. We will be talking about channeled energy to heal, multidimensional energy therapist, EFT practitioner, life coach, author, and certified Reiki master teacher. Renae is an international known and respected energy therapist who is able to channel source, a person's higher self, and work with multidimensional healers to assist busy women resolve their issues and easily release all patterns that hold them back from their greatness. Renae's journey of life began with a childhood of physical, emotional, and sexual abuse that ended when she was reunited with her birth mother at age 12. Through her own journey of healing, she has awakened to her genius while learning a multitude of tools. Please join me to welcome Renae Mussachio to my show. Good morning, Renae. Thank you. How are you today?
Excellent. Thank you, AngelaMaría, for having me. And honestly, I'm truly honored to be here. Your podcast reaches so many, and you change so many lives with just your message and your gift and just your energy. So I'm truly honored. So thank you.
Thank you, Renae. So let's start with, what's your healing superpower?
I would say it's simplicity, because things are so much simpler than we believe they are to be. And what we've been learning, as the earth shifts, and the earth is shifting daily, we actually go through a series of things becoming much easier for us. And I'm always in tune with that earth energy. So every time something changes, and I go back to my client and like, okay, wait a minute, this is easier. Let's do this, this, and this. So I say it's very simple, and everybody's always like, wow, you make things so simple. Things are really easy. We just overthink them.
I love that. And we need more of that. Lately, yes. I don't know why we think everything has to be complicated. Everything has to be through a lot of effort. And we need to put a lot of energy. And we need to get tired. And we need to get sick. So I love that superpower. Renae, will you please take us back to your early years and name one memorable life lesson that is useful for you today?
I would say it was to just stop and listen. Like listen, and when I say that, I mean stop and really listen and feel your body. Like there was a lot of things I feel like in my childhood that I really could have sort of avoided being so traumatic had I sort of just stopped and listened to my body. When you get that gut feeling of don't do this or don't go there or certainly don't say this. It certainly could have helped tremendously had I listened to that voice. But, a lot of times when you're in that fear mode, you're spewing out stuff and you're saying things and you're not paying attention. And I think it was just a huge lesson to stop and listen to what my system, my body is saying.
Oh, I think that is a big key. And I'm thankful for you saying this exactly today at this moment right now, because I do believe that sometimes in this hectic life that we create, we just go and go and go, and all the time is going, go, go, go. And if something comes, we do not stop. We react. And when we react, we are missing a huge power that we have to create something else if we don't react. To create something else and better, if we just remember to go inside and, as you said it, stop and listen to your body. listen to that voice, listen to that intuition. So thank you so much, Renae, for reminding me, specifically me right now, to go back and do it and start reacting and thinking what to do. Just go inside and listen exactly what I need to be able to overcome or create something else.
Absolutely. And it's so important. And you're not alone. We're all doing that. I mean, as many years, I've been doing this over 20 years, AngelaMaría, and it's still, I would catch myself just reacting and going with that, whatever it is, until I'd be like, wait, stop, breathe, exactly what you did. Like, take that breath in, stop, and focus.
So I would say with all the listeners, let's do this right now. Let's stop. Put your pencil down. If you're driving, please keep your eyes open. do not know. But whatever you're doing right now, I love to listen to this podcast while I'm mopping, while I'm dusting, while I'm organizing. Just stop right there where you are. Stop it right now. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Hold it and exhale. And put the intention to listen to your body, to listen to that inner voice. What is telling you right now? And I invite you to do this more than once. I have my alarm set, and every 50 minutes, I stop. And that's what I do. But now that Renae reminded me, I stopped the alarm a week ago because I was in an event and I turned it off the alarm. I didn't want everybody to stop with me, and I haven't turned it back on. So thank you so much, Renae.
Absolutely. And AngelaMaría, if I might just say to all your listeners, it's so important, exactly what you did when you said, you took that breath and you said, hold it. That's so important, because you really I can see energy. So you can see the energy just sort of coming back together, opposed to so many people, when you say, take a deep breath, they're like, yep. Okay. Yeah, I'm good. And you're like, no.
Yeah. Just feel it
for a second.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that. Renae, where can people go to find out more about you?
My website is renaeusa.com, and that is www.renaeusa.com. Thank
you. So if you would like to know more about this beautiful and soft voice, and if you have listened to my podcast before, I'm noisy, I'm loud, but with Renae's voice, I just realized, I say, wow, Angela, you're kind of calm, and that's good. So if you want to know more about this beautiful energy, go check onto her website and just explore something new, something that maybe you are needing right now. Your soul is looking for this right now. So when we come back from this really short break, I promise, we are going to talk more about her healing superpower. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Renae Mussachio about how to channel energy to heal.
Hello, everyone. This is Tonya Don Rekla, Executive Director of Superpower Experts, and we want to thank each of you for making Superpower Up the #1 podcast network for personal development and spiritual growth. Because people like you have the courage to say that mindfulness, healthy living, disrupting reality, the pursuit of consciousness, responsible entrepreneurship, and radical parenting matter. We now amass over 1 million downloads monthly in more than 90 countries. Our numbers keep growing because there are far more people willing to live divergently than mass media wants to acknowledge. For you, the change makers, the light bearers, the way showers, we say thank you. If you're ready to take the next step in your evolution, go now to superpowerexperts.com and take the Superpower Quiz. And as Neva-Lee Rekla, our youngest podcaster, likes to remind us, remember, we all have superpowers and we can change the world.
We're back and you are listening to High Frequency Healing Show. Today, we are talking with Renae Mussachio about how to channel energy to heal. Renae, was there a burning bush moment that made your heart desire changing your path in life?
There was a few. One that always sticks out to me is when I had started to do this work. It just sort of was coming to me. It wasn't like, I can't really say that there was a specific moment where I was like, oh, wow. But there was a woman, I used to do this thing because all this energy would come into me. Like I could meet you and all of a sudden I'd see these bodies around you. They're all versions of you start talking to me, which quite honestly was a little unnerving. Like, what is happening? I don't know what to say. But then I started to realize they were sort of messages for people as well. And, their own bodies saying, hey, this is what's going on inside. And you need to tell her to do this, this, and this so she can get rid of this. And, I'm not going to just walk up to a stranger and say that. Whoa. So I started to do these things, what I would say, I'd call them angel readings. Mm-hmm. This one, and I'd say, come to me with your questions, and your angels and your bodies would tell you the answer. And this one girl came, and she was, AngelaMaría, she was freaked out. Oh my God, I went to a reader, and the reader told me I was going to get in a car accident, and it's going to be horrible, and I don't know what to do with it. And she had been thinking and worrying about it so much that it started to engulf her whole system. And of all people, as I'm sure many of your listeners do, what we think about, that's what we're going to create.
Create a reality.
Yes. And she was, oh my Lord, if you could have saw what she was creating, and I could see this energy to her, and I saw her actually paralyzed from the neck down. And I remembered thinking, I cannot tell her this. I will. And now she's asking me these questions, and my brain is thinking, I'm not going to tell her this. I can't tell her this. There has to be a way to change this. And all of a sudden, I got this voice in my head that said, absolutely, she can change it. And I was like, well, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm looking really calm to her. And I say, in my head, okay, well, tell me how. And they said, have her repeat after you. And I said to her, you know what, let's just stop. Just stop. Let's take a deep breath. Let's just, hold it here. Let's just relax for a minute. Would you create that for yourself? And she said, well, I don't think I would, but she told me that's what she saw. I said, all right, let's just repeat after me. And I was just repeating after what her higher self was telling me. And as she was repeating, I am telling you, everybody, it was the craziest thing. I'm seeing her paralyzed, right? Like I get this visual in my head of her paralyzed. And as she's saying the things, it was like a movie rewinding. And you could see her all of a sudden, she wasn't paralyzed anymore, but she was walking with crutches. And it was just rewinding and rewinding and rewinding. And the more we said and the more she repeated. And then at the end, I said to her, okay, if that's what you want to happen, just say yes. And she said, oh, yes, absolutely. And all of a sudden, the whole thing, it was like this puff of smoke or something. It was crazy. And all of a sudden it was gone. And I just saw her in her car, almost like, I could see her car. I couldn't see what was behind her. And I almost like she just did this little bump thing. Mm-hmm. And I said to her, that's it. You're good. Don't worry about that anymore. And she did say, she said, it's funny. I'm not. I don't even, she said, it's been obsessing my life and I'm not. And I said, right then, I said, to the angels or whoever is there. And I'm like, this is what I want to do. I want to help people change their life like this. And she did call a couple months later to say, that because I guess the original reader told her it was going to be a red car. Mm-hmm. She did call me a couple months later to say, you are not going to believe this. She said, I'm still in the car. She said, I just backed into a red dumpster. And she said, there's no damage on my car. No, nothing. There's this little thing. She said, I'm sure that's what that healer was seeing. I'm sure that's what that reader did. And I'm like, I'm sure of it as well. So now keep going. So, but that was when I was like, I'm obviously here for a bigger purpose. If I can just think that and that stuff comes to me and I can have her change her life, that's what I need to do. I need to help people change their lives and do that.
And I love this topic for so many reasons, Renae. I am an energy healer too. I work with Akashic records, but what I have realized lately, it is not just about the Akashic records. It's not about Reiki. It's not even about the angels. Exactly. It's not even about anything that you do. It's about what you think. It's about what you believe. Yes. It's about what it's inside. It's about that story that you tell yourself over and over and over again. And I just love that you are saying this. It's an affirmation, and it's also a message for you out there who are listening to this, who are thinking, I need somebody else to do this for me. I need somebody else to help me create a different life. And I just want you to know that yes, we help, we channel, we give you information that you haven't been able to tap in by yourself, But I also want you to know that you can do it on your own. I want you to know that if you just put that intention every morning, you're going to be able to do it. That you may get some help from Renae, for anybody else, but also remember that you don't need these people. You don't need us every time. The idea is that you learn to do it by yourself. This is the divinity in you. Just trust in that divinity. Of course, guidance is important. That's why, for some reason, divinity, angels chooses us to say, hey, some people need some flashlight in their lives. You're going to be the flashlight. But then when they are able to hold until the sunrise, they can do it by their own. And I think that what Renae is saying, it's crucial in our lives. Crucial. And I don't care if you're spiritual or not, if you believe in God, if you believe in angels, even if you believe in energy or not. That would be great. That would help you in your path. That would accelerate processes. But also, just remember and feel it, that you are the power in you. So thank you so much, Renae. And I think this is just moving us to the next question. Mm-hmm. What is energy healing?
For me, the energy, like, as you know, and I'm sure a lot of your listeners know, everything is energy. Okay. And the energy all has a vibration to it and a frequency. Mm. And what happens is, anytime anyone's doing anything, I don't care, if they're putting it under the label of Reiki or massage or whatever, it's all energy healing. We're tapping into the energy of your being, and we're clearing that. Because the energy itself holds a memory. What I have been able to see is it holds a memory, not only in the cells, like scientists and all that say, but our whole body is energy. The only reason we're not falling through the chair that we're sitting on is because it's an energy, but it's vibrating at a different frequency. Mm-hmm. So I always say, if there is anything you don't have in your life, it's just because you're not vibrating with it. The energy is not there. So let's change the energy so you can change the reality. And how are we changing that energy? A ton of it is just with that whole intention, exactly what you were saying earlier. It's the intention. What is our intention? If we are going to sit and we're going to think about a ton of negative things, the energy is going to come to us. And that's what I see. I see this energy, all of our thoughts going up out of the head. And, because the energy to it is going up and out, and the universe, whatever you want to call it, spinning. And what it's doing is it's looking for that same energy that is out in the world. And all of a sudden, and this all happens so quickly, AngelaMaría, it's like, split second. All of a sudden it finds that energy from everybody in the world that's having that same thought, and it connects in. And now it's just going to follow the energy field. So it comes down and it follows in, and now it goes through your whole body. Well, what are we doing about it? We don't know that just happened. I mean, I can see it, so I can mm-hmm. say, but you don't know that happened. So what do? You then are seeking out people. I don't know what's wrong. Maybe something's on. I all of a sudden I'm in this negativity. I don't know why. Well, because what have you done to get out of this? Because you don't even know what happened. So that's when people usually seek out, people for whatever, Akashic records or the Reiki or the massage or the, just energy in general. And we're able to, exactly what you said, talk to your system and say, hey, here's your light bulb moment that you need to say this, you need to do this so we can clear this off of you. Meditation is an awesome way to do that. Just breathing, I've watched people do it. There's just so many ways to get that energy field back into your core light. If you just had that thought be, if all the healers just sat there now and just said, okay, hey, wait a minute, I'm just going to take this deep breath in, I'm going to hold it for a second, and I'm going to have that thought be, I'm just letting go of everything that no longer serves me. I would see it go. Like, and then exhale out. And when you exhale out, you're breathing all that stuff out. It is amazing how easy it really can be.
Renae, could we do that exercise right now?
Absolutely.
Inspire listeners to think about something they want to release. Think about something you would like to release right now, right here. And then I let you just guide us through this exercise that I do believe is powerful, Renae.
Okay. Yeah, awesome. Okay. So everybody's got that whole thought. Now I want you to just take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Take a deep. If you're driving, don't. Keep your eyes open. But take a
pull over.
Yeah, that's even better. Take a deep breath in, and as you're inhaling all of your energy that's just being out in the world, just going wherever the heck it's going. You're pulling it back into you, back into the core of all you are. And as it's coming back in, it's releasing and letting go of everything that's holding you into all these other stories, all this other stuff that's keeping you from being centered and focused in you. And then just hold that breath. Just hold it as you're just gathering up everything and you're starting to replace all of those thoughts that you no longer need. Your system knows exactly what this is. You don't need to know. If you do know, awesome. If you don't, that's okay. And then exhale it all out. Blow it all out. Just letting everything go. Everything that you were thinking of, everything your system knows you need to get rid of, just let it all out. Just go out into the universe. And as it gets so far out of your energy field, it turns back into unconditional love because we've judged it as something. There's nothing but unconditional love in our systems. So it's going back into unconditional love. It's not that you're putting stuff out there into the world that you didn't want. It just turns back into unconditional love. And if you want, just take another deep breath in, hold it for a second, and then exhale back out. And just feel your system just releasing and letting go of all that needs to go. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Feeling that light, that freedom, that natural flow to all that you are.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
So sometimes I listen to people saying, oh, I would love to just get in contact with one of your guests in your podcast. I would like to work with you, but I don't have time. I don't have money. Whatever reason is in your mind, just start doing these little simple exercises. Put the intention to create the time that your soul needs. Put the intention to create the money you need to be able to get help and guidance from people like Renae. Just create it. Believe it.
And they also have, AngelaMaría, for not only, just for your listeners, I had recorded a meditation yesterday just for them. So they're going to, have to go, I'll give you the site for that. But first, let me say, I also have the third Wednesday of every month. So now October 16th is coming up. It's a free live online through Zoom. It's an energy clearing through meditation. You don't pay anything, you don't do anything, you just get on, you sign on onto the page and come on, you can call in through your phone or whatever and just listen to that. It's 9:00 Eastern time, which would be, 6:00 Pacific, 7 Mountain, and 8 Central. But it's free. And you sit there, I bring everybody through a meditation, and then it's like, okay, everybody, have a wonderful day. And that's it. There's no real conversation. There's no nothing. I might say, hey, this is what's going on. But it's a great way if you don't have the money and you don't know, because sometimes we get stuck in that stuff and we're like, how do I get out? I'm so entrenched in it. How do I get out? That's a great way because I tap into everything and they just release. And for your listeners, I almost named it high frequency healing because there is like this high vibration, this high frequency, all the frequency healers come in for the meditation, but I was like, raising your vibration is good. But I have a gift for all the listeners. If they go to my site, www.renaeusa.com/A for Angela, M for Maria, H for high, F for frequency, H for healing, gift.html that will bring them right into, there's a form, you just fill out the form and you will immediately get an email with the download to the Raising Your Vibration guided meditation. And you'll never find that anyplace else. I recorded just for your listeners and that's it. That's the only place it goes.
May I yell now? Yay! Thank you, Renae. This makes me so happy. I love it. And thank you so much for doing this. I do believe that we are doing this because we love it. Because for some reason, somebody up there, guy, universe, divinity, whatever you want to call it, choose us to do it because of the path we have been walking in life and many past lives, and they feel we're ready to do this for whatever reason it is. But I also do believe that even we live out of this and we get money from people so we can also create our own lives. It's also important to serve. It's also important to open a door for that people that they are not ready, that they think, energy healing, that's woo-woo, cuckoo, crazy, I don't know about it. But these kind of things, it's not just because you don't have the money. It's because you don't want to invest it in something cuckoo. But when you go and you experience it and you give yourself the opportunity, it's when you feel like, maybe I'm ready for something cuckoo like this. Because that's why I love this show. And that's why when I sat down with Tonya Rekla, that is the CEO of all of these monster of superpower experts, I say, I want to tell people that there is a different way of healing themselves. And yes, doctors are important. Medicine, traditional medicine is important because we are not at that level where we can just think and create yet. But now we are moving to all of this that you don't touch it. You may not see it as Renae. I work with energy. I don't see it. I feel it, but I don't see it. But she can see it. But that doesn't mean it's not there. So thank you so much, Renae. I hope one day I can hug you and really looking at your eyes saying, thank you for creating this for us, but also for creating opportunities like these Wednesdays, third Wednesdays of meditation, clearing meditation with you. And believe me, I'm going to be in one of those because even I work with this, I've learned to be humble. And I've learned just to realize I cannot do everything by myself. I'm also fail. I'm also forgive. I'm also just trying to do many things that I may need some help. And I may need that energy from somebody else telling me how to do it better, reminding me those kind of things that I may have forgotten in the way. So thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. And you're so right, because everybody thinks that we're healers. So we're just perfect or whatever that is. And I always tell everybody, I'm human. I'm here to have some experiences as well. I don't know everything. I don't get answers for myself a lot of the times. We too go out and need these other healers to assist us as well.
Yes. So how to channel? Before, tell me more about your experience as a channel. So when did you realize you were channeling? What's to channel? What is that?
The one time I was journaling something, because I used to be really big in journaling. And not that I'm not now, but I still journal. But I was journaling something, and I just had this thing where, because I knew I had to heal my childhood. I knew those particular years I had to heal. And I remember just going to bed and I couldn't sleep. So I woke up and I just started to just write out some things, because all the counselors that I had seen, whether they were spiritual or just regular counselors, all said, you have to go back into it to heal it. And that never felt right to me. And I said, I remembered, the things that I remember, I wish I didn't remember. And, all the rest of the childhood I blocked out. So I don't know. And so I just wouldn't. And I remember thinking, as I was journaling, there's got to be a way to heal this without getting into it. And as I was journaling, I was very aware of all of a sudden writing words that were not my words, but I didn't want to stop. So I kept writing. And at the end, it actually, like the final things were, I am Archangel Michael. And I looked, I was like, what? And I looked and it was not my handwriting. And I was like, oh my God, and I started to read it through and it said, you do not have to get back into it to heal. It's in your memory. You have to tell it it's okay, acknowledge the fact that it's in there and set it free. And I was like, whoa, what? And I tried to, I was waking up my husband, like, honey, wake up. You gotta hear this. And it's 3:00 in the morning. He's like, honey, it's 3:00 in the morning. I got to go to work in the morning. Could you just, no.
Just hold it till tomorrow, please.
Exactly. So then I would say that. And so I started to do that. I was like, okay, listen, like all of this stuff that I remember and that I don't remember, thank you so much for being there. And I know I created this for something. And now these weren't my words that I was thinking at the moment, because I was, in the angry place. But I remember just being in this loving place and just saying, thank you so much. And it's okay, let go. And then all of a sudden, these other words were coming to my mind. Because, of course, I went downstairs not to wake up my husband anymore. And all of a sudden, out loud, I started to say these words. And I thought, Jesus, this isn't me. But I was just going with it. And the love that came with it was crazy cool. So I just kept, saying what was coming. And at the end, I said, thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. And I took this deep breath in, and I was very aware of almost like this, I don't know, body or something, just heaviness, just leaving with all of this anger and all this stuff. And I remembered saying out loud, those weren't my words. Who was that? And I got, we are the emissaries of light. Literally, like out of my mouth. I'm like, what? Like, how am I doing that? How what? And they said, you're a channel. Everybody has the ability to do that. You're open enough for us to come through. I was like, wow, what?
Oh, I love that definition. Could you say it again?
The what?
Open it up enough.
Yep. Oh, I don't know how I said it.
Okay, but it was beautiful. I think I got it. You said channel is just to open it up enough.
Yeah, you're open up enough, to receive.
To receive and just let it go through.
And let it be. Yep. Everybody has the ability. It's a matter of, like you had said earlier in the show, that we're so busy with life and all the crazy stuff that we're not stopping. If you stop, you'd be amazed at what you hold inside. Like everything is inside. It's a matter of just remembering it.
Yes. So that's the time to ask you how to channel energy to heal.
So it's really intention. Intention is really it. If anybody just sat there and said, I don't know about this stuff, it's crazy. It doesn't matter. You don't have to know anything, because the intention is, this is what I am choosing to do. This is what I want to do. And the energy just opens up, because like I said, it's inside, and we have a lot of energy beings that I call them, healers that are around us that will come in. So if you just sat there, and again, the breath is everything, and you took that deep breath in and you just held it for a second, and then you just released, and you just said, I'm just bringing in all the healing energy. And I usually say the high frequency healing energy, because everything has a frequency. And if you don't, as long as you're saying, I'm bringing in the energy and all else I need that's in my highest and best good. And then you have that whole thing, like you're breathing in, and your thought is you're breathing all of that in, everything that you need, everything that's in your highest and best good. You're breathing that in, and you hold it, and it's going to go right through your whole body. Okay, whether you feel it or not doesn't matter. It's going to go right through your whole body. And then you're going to exhale out. When you're exhaling out everything and anything that your system no longer needs. And you just sit there. If you just do that, even if somebody just did that 3 breaths, you'd be amazed at what you start to feel, as long as you're allowing yourself to feel. Because somebody's going to sit into that and they're going to say, I don't believe this stuff, but I'm going to do it. Yep, don't feel any different. Well, yeah, because that's the intention you're putting in there.
Yes. Oh,
it's so simple.
Yes. And I love to make things simple. I love it. And I also want you to know, because I have experienced that sometimes we have information, as Renae was explaining to us at the beginning, that information is in our DNA. Mm-hmm. And it's so deep into our cells, into all our energy bodies, and it may take time. It also may need somebody to guide you to finally do it. Mm-hmm. You may feel better, and you may feel like you're attracting new results, and suddenly you just get down again. Don't discourage of those experiences. Just realize, maybe I really need people or somebody else to guide me to go deeper inside me, because for some reason I haven't been able to do it. But this is a really great start. Mm-hmm. And I love, because when you send us the bio, there were 2 things that I love it, because it's exactly what I love to talk, and it's exactly what I work with people. And it's changing your inner reality to change your life. And that's one of the topics you work with the people around you, and one of your services. So what is the process or any specific technique to be able to get rid of those old stories, to get rid and change those beliefs that are just not letting us go forward and move to the next level in our lives?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like you said, a lot of people, we do need other people. We can get to a certain point, and then there's things typically that we don't want to see, or that are just too deep. Mm-hmm. That, that's when paying attention to who's coming forward, who are you hearing about, what's doing things, and then going to them. And when somebody comes to me, because I can see energy, it makes it very easy for me. And because the systems talk to me, and the higher self talk, like I've got the whole room full of people talking to me. So it's very easy for me. But what I basically do is I will, tell them, okay, look, this is what I'm seeing. This is how it would play out in your life, blah, blah, blah. And then I say, okay, now you're ready to clear that. And they're like, yes. Oh my God, how many sessions is this going to take? Because you're typically saying a lot of things. And I just look at them, I'm like, what? 1 session? What are you thinking? And I lay them on the table, and now I do it through Zoom. But you just say, okay, now your turn to just relax, just have your thought be released and let go. And I literally channel a meditation, and not that they have to go into that state, but I just literally channel this meditation, helping the system to release and let go. And there's so much more happening than I'm actually saying out of my mouth at that time. Mm-hmm. It's typically about 35 to 45 minutes usually. And that's it. And the system is just dumping and releasing because it needs someone else. Somebody's always safer. When people come to you for the Akashic records and that, they feel safe. They know you're going to help. They can feel it through your energy. Just all of your words, everything that just comes with so much love. They can feel that. Mm-hmm. And they trust you. So now it's, okay, because isn't this what we always think? I don't have the power to do this. Somebody else can help me. So now they've opened themselves up completely. So now you can be, okay, here's what we're going to do. And they just release. And it's so much easier. And then after that, I said, okay, look, here are some things you have to do. One of the big things is at nighttime when you go to bed, just have your thought be, I now receive all I need and let go of all else. And that starts the process of releasing some of this old things and being very aware when you have this story, when you go into that fear or that thought or somebody's talking to you and you immediately start to feel like you're not worthy or whatever, just stop for a second. And, if you can take that breath, a lot of times people aren't in the place to, because they feel like people are watching them, taking that breath and stopping. But if you stop and you say, wait a minute, whose story is this? Is this mine? And if it is, where would I have gotten it from? And is this true? Is this really who I am? Am I not worthy of having this conversation? Am I not worthy of having money? Am I not worthy of having a wonderful life? And you realize, of course I'm worthy. I'm a spiritual being of light, here to have a wonderful human experience. It's not the other way around. People think, we're this human being here to have a spiritual experience. No, we're spiritual beings of light here to have a human experience. And you start to recognize and you realize, if all of your listeners could just stop when they're feeling anything that they don't like and just stop and say, whose story is this? Because it might be energy they're picking up from somebody else that's around them. And you realize, that's not my story. And if it is my story, that's not what I want. And the minute you say that, I see this energetic shift in your body, like, oh, well, wait a minute, you don't want that? Yeah, it's your mind being like, wait a minute, what do you mean you don't want this? This is what we've been all our life. What do you mean? And you say, no. And if you don't know what the opposite is, because a lot of times we're so stuck in that, we don't know what the opposite is. But the minute you say, I cancel, because you're canceling the energy to those thoughts, canceling that, cancel. I replace this with the opposite. The body knows what the opposite is. The system knows what you don't have to know. A lot of times we don't know what the opposite is, but they're just such easy little quick things. You keep doing that and you start to review your life, like what's changing in your life, because it's so natural. It's who we really are. So it's very natural for us as we're making these changes. So when you stop at the end of the week or the end of 30 days, whatever it is, and you look back, you're like, wow, look at the changes in my life. What have I been doing differently? And it's just these quick little things.
Yes. And I'm so grateful for all of these because they are practical things that you can do every day, that you don't need a space with a Buddha, candles, incense, and music. No, just there, wherever you are, wherever you're feeling it, just do it. That's why my listeners know that I usually ask the last question that is shared with us 2 steps or tips, blah, blah. I'm not going to ask that question because you have gave us more than 2 steps or tips. But before we leave, I want you to talk to us about how to find our superpowers. That's something else that you work with the people. And I think and I know that everybody out there would like to know, how do I know what's my superpower?
Right. And that really is so much easier than people think. We just get in our heads, and I always say to people, like, you got to get out of your head. That doesn't mean anything to anybody. There's like, okay, whatever. But if you just sat down, again, to me, breath is everything. Breath meditation really puts you in a whole different state. Okay. And you just sat down and you just took a breath. Okay. And you sat there and you just started to write down, what is it I like to do? What do I like? It could be simple as, I like talking to people. Okay, you start writing that down. You start talking to people. I love talking to people. Or, I love to, do crafts, whatever. They might think that's really nothing, that, this is silly because it's, doing crafts. How does that do it? Eventually you get to that point of starting to say, wow, like, wait a minute, I'm really good at this. I'm really good at helping other people find their power, or I'm really good at, doing, whatever X, Y, and Z, whatever that thing is. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you, you're not going to open it up unless you're doing something. Surprisingly enough, the minute you say, whether it is, what's my superpower? What's my, life's purpose? What's my life's path? Saying things like that to yourself and sitting quietly and feeling, you will be shocked at the things that your body brings to you. And it's usually getting out of our own way, though. That's why I usually default to meditation or some type of healing, or going to, you doing, the Akashic record work, things like that. Going to somebody if you're really stuck, because typically you're so in your head, you're not going to get out of that. And you need somebody to stop, have you breathe and say, okay, look, you got to stop. You have to breathe. Look, at your superpower can come forward. You're just thinking about it too much, because I think a lot of people think that it's like this moment, and it's not. Every single thing that we're doing in our life is leading us to our life's purpose. Everything. And people are like, oh, I'm not on my path. No, you are on your path, or you wouldn't be where you are. Like, everything leads to that life's purpose. Everything leads to that true superpower. It's a matter of allowing yourself to let yourself lead and get out of your way thinking, oh, I don't know what that is. Well, AngelaMaría, I'm thinking that. What's happening? I don't know what it is. It's good. Your system, like, what I see is like these walls pushing back. Like, oh, wait a minute, don't bring this forward for him or her, because they're saying they don't know what it is. So this energy pushes back. Like, nope, don't bring it to her. Don't bring it to him. They don't know what it is. You got to be open for it.
Oh. Let's take a deep breath and just internalize those words. And I just want to finish this with something that Renae said before, and it took me a while for me to believe it and verify it, but everything is about the intention. Mm-hmm. And if we are aware of our intention at every step, in any action, you may want to take an action because you want money, but if your intention doesn't make any sense, I know I will make it, boom. It doesn't matter if you really want it. Mm-hmm. But if your inner intention is just reacting because it's used to do that, then it doesn't matter. Could make millions of dollars to somebody else, and it won't make anything to you.
Yep.
So everything is the power of intention. Be clear and be honest with your intentions. Go in and just make sure that you have a real, authentic intention that is matching your deep desires. Renae, I can't say thank you enough for this time, for the work you do, for being so generous with us today, sharing all of this. I really, really want you to know the deep appreciation and gratitude that is in my heart right now for you and for your work.
Thank you. I can feel it. And I thank you. And I send it all back to you, because the work you do and how you are helping people with your podcast and your work is phenomenal. You are moving far beyond you even think you are.
Thank you. I needed that today. So let's remind our listeners where they can go to find out more about you.
It's www.renaeusa.com. And again, let me just quickly say, and you can click on the free classes for that free meditation. But the other thing is the gift, the raising your vibration meditation. Do the www.renaeusa.com/AMHFH gift, GIFT.html. And that all stands for AngelaMaría High Frequency Healing Gift.html. Fill out the form and you will get the immediate email with the link to download the meditation.
Thank you, Renae, again
for
sharing your healing superpower with us. And thank you all of you for joining us, for playing along with us. We were playing full today, and thank you so much. I am AngelaMaría, Conscious Creation. Change actions, shift energy to live heaven down here on earth. And I'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao. Gracias.
Are you ready to discover your superpowers? Go now to superpowerexperts.com and take the Superpower Quiz today.